and welcome to another episode of Three Crones in the Woo Woo. Hello, I am one of your guest Crones, host Crones. My name is Gayle Nicholson with Creative Command Coaching and Consulting. To my side here, I have Krista Ducharme with Dimensional Healing with Krista. That can be found on Facebook. And of course, as always, supporting us from below, we have Damaris Samolinski with Ask the Genie with Damaris Samolinski. So thank you all for joining us today. Please give us a like, give us a share. That will enter you into our weekly broadcast giveaway. And, participate in the chat. We love hearing from all of our people out there.
Yes.
Oh, so how has this past week been for you ladies?
You go first, Krista.
Well, for me, it's been busy. As you can tell by my background, I'm somewhere new. We are in San Diego. We left our daughter in Virginia on Saturday. She was supposed to start her first classes in-person classes yesterday. Sadly, the professor had COVID.
Oh, no.
So,
oops.
She messages me this morning. My classes are officially today and no one has COVID.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my goodness.
So that's good. But we arrived Saturday here in San Diego. We're staying at our friend, a really longtime friend, Phil's house. Kevin and Phil were stationed on their first ship together in Yokosuka, Japan. So if anybody's in here who's ever been stationed in Yokosuka, give us a like, give us a heart, say Yoko go. I'll tell you, Yokosuka is one of those places. Once you've been stationed in Japan, or anytime you're stationed overseas, it just brings a whole different dynamic to those you're around. Mm-hmm. So yeah. But yeah, we're doing pretty okay overall. Our son Gregory is stationed here right now. And so yesterday I was telling you ladies, we were just going around helping him get things together that are scattered. So we're trying to just kind of organize and consolidate. And it's like, hey, we're here. Let's get this all done. So hopefully today we get to go play for a little while.
Oh, good.
Yay. Why it's so bright and it's so bright and sunny where you're at.
It is bright and sunny. And here's the part. Okay, I'm going to make y'all jelly a little bit. Here we go. It's going to get warm.
Oh, how warm.
They were getting up into the 70s. The Santa winds are coming in. So, wow. I mean, I'm excited, but it means I have to go shopping. I didn't bring it.
Yeah, I'll bet your summer clothes are packed, aren't they?
Yeah, my summer clothes are almost non-existent.
So, Damaris, I'm sorry. I spoke over you. What were you going to say?
Oh, no, that's okay. I was going to ask if it's early over there in California now. What time is it?
I'm at 9:03.
Wow.
So yeah,
you look good, but so early in the morning.
Well, I wake up at probably like 4:30. So
yeah, it's not early for her. It's just
my body is going to be, by the time we get back to the Netherlands in 2 weeks, my body is going to be like, okay, I'm all done with this screwiness.
Yeah, you'll probably sleep for 18 hours straight, just trying to get reacclimated.
Yeah, so we'll see. It's a lot of fun. Next week, I'll be somewhere else, so make sure you pay attention.
Awesome. And there will be a test later. No, just kidding. No test.
I don't know. I may give a test. Maybe for myself.
Name one of the 3 locations that Krista...
There you go.
There you go.
I like that test. One of the 3 locations. Ooh, I might have to make a prize with that. I hope to be going to a crystal, because here in California, woo-woo is not all that, all that different or strange or anything. So they have a lot of metaphysical shops, and I may. One of my goals is to go visit a couple. So we'll see how that.
Well, if you happen to pop by Palm Springs, let me know, because I have an amazing crystal store there with an incredible psychic that I'm sure that they would love if you popped in there and did a live.
would love to do that. That'd be fun. I don't know if we're going to get up to Palm Springs though, but We'll see. I'm staying open to any possibility.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, gotta roll with it, especially during these Mercury retrograde times.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
yes.
So much going on.
Right.
So how are you guys doing?
Damaris, how about you?
Me, it's good. Just working, and it's really cold here in New York. So I just been indoors a lot, but I'm working, thank God, and seeing clients and stuff. So I'm happy about that.
That's fabulous. And has it been snowy up there?
We had flurries, not anything that stuck, no, it didn't stick or anything, but we did have flurries like 2 days in a row. But it's really cold here. For me anyway. I feel cold. My husband sometimes says, it's not that cold. I'm like, I'm freezing.
That's awesome. Cold. So do your clients drive to you, or you do?
Yeah, most of them drive to me. And I have some that, we do like a FaceTime or Zoom. But most of them have been coming to me. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
We just got like enough snow that kind of stuck over the last couple of days. I think there's about 4 to 6 inches out there right now, enough for the boys to get out their snow blowers and have fun with it,
Yeah.
So that's been kind of nice. But I've been doing some driving for extra pin money.
Yes.
And I got my snow pants and I got my Canadian jacket that's rated to 40 below, and I've actually been dealing with and appreciating how much time I spent in Arizona, because I can tolerate really hot. Because in all that gear in my car, I'm like getting hot flashes and I'm just like rolling down the window. I can't take it. So yeah, it's been, thank goodness I'm not getting sick, because of it just proves, you don't get sick from a change in temperature. You get sick from touching something that somebody else who was sick touched.
Yes.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I want to say hi to Sue Ward Paquin, who's watching, and Facebook user. I'm going to assume that might be either Tracy or Adam. And they said that they're sick with COVID. So we're sending you get well prayers.
Yes.
Not quite sure which one, who of you
I hope
it's
not Tracy.
I hope not too. Well, I hope it's not Adam either, but it's somebody. Oh, it's Allison.
Allison. I didn't want it to be Allison either. I mean,
I'm so sorry to hear
I'm
that.
so sorry, honey. No, I made it sound like I'm hoping it's not Tracy, like, she's a magical person. It's just that I'll be with her next week. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
That was, purely out of self-interest. She hoped it's not Tracy.
Krista. Thank God you cleared that up.
Yeah. But Allison, not that she's going to be too far. But I'm so sorry. Yeah, and she's not. So I don't know about you guys. We have several friends, some down in Australia, some up in Washington who we know who have they're all vaccinated and everything, and they've all gotten Omicron. And the descriptions that they're giving of what their accounts of Omicron just do not sound at all like a basic cold. As a matter of fact, they sound a lot like a torture device.
Really?
I am like going, yes.
And it's different for everybody.
Oh, yeah, it is. But, the big one is the headache.
Yeah.
And the earache and the whole body aching aspect. And so, I'm just like, that's
not fun.
It's not fun. So Allison, I really hope that you're maybe on the better, the I'm getting better end of this, because that's not fun at all.
No.
So
Hey, Joanne Angelberry Cologne just joined us. Hello, my dear. It's so good to see you.
Congrats. Her book is coming out.
Yes,
oh, that's right.
Yeah, right.
Joanne, put a little info about your book in the comments and we'll show it around.
Yeah.
Allison said it's terrible. She's on day 5 of COVID.
Oh, I'm so sorry, honey.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be sending you, and if you're open to it, we'll take a few minutes later on and send some healing Reiki for you. And just in general out there to the world, because this is going on Too long.
Too long.
Yeah, way too long.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, well, we have lots going on other
Yeah.
than COVID in the
Yeah.
world, Miss Damaris.
Yes.
Yes. Let's get this lady going here. Awesome.
All right. Okay. So, geez, we have Mercury, Venus, Mars, and Pluto conjunct Capricorn. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's gridlock in that sign. You know, it could bring weather disasters, that combination, because of that Mars and Pluto energy together, that's explosive. So it could bring a lot of weather issues, you know, disasters where death, loss, devastation can happen. I mean, and it obviously it could be anywhere in the world, because we're talking about the planet itself. But yeah, so we have to look out for that weather conditions, definitely. Because that combination will bring that, you know, will bring that. The other thing that whole combination does, it really helps us look at matters of the heart, that Venus energy, right? Look, and then the Mercury retrograde, which has to do with stuff from the past, you know, revisiting, reviewing. So it's really telling us to deal with matters of the heart, wounds, you know, that we've had from past wounds that we've had. It's almost like bringing them up to the surface. In order to move forward, we really need to balance those, you know, wounds from the past, because we carry them like a shadow. So it's time to really deal with that on a personal level, globally, collectively. Everybody, each of us individually has to go through that. Healing the heart chakra, pretty much. So also what's going to happen once we do that, we're going to move forward very quickly. We also, once we move forward, then we're there to help be the light for other people, because once you work on yourself and you get yourself ahead, then you can help other people. Really, it's almost like, and I said it last week, it's like being my brother's keeper, so to speak. And that's the energy that has to take place. I love the number 5, because the number 5 plays into everything I just said. The number 5 is all about personal and planetary changes. It's, you know, it's all about being free, being, you know, out of our own limitations, self-inflicted limitations, or otherwise, you know, limitations that are inflicted upon us. So it's really about breaking free and bringing on changes that will be permanent. I love that the 5 is ruled by Mercury, because Mercury is the planet of the intellect. And it's, you know, once you are raising your consciousness, so to speak, you're gonna find yourself in that master number 55. And the master number 55 is all about aligning both the hemispheres, the left and the right hemisphere, coming together, working together, the left and the right working together. Now you're going to experience infinite possibilities. You said that earlier when you were talking about something, Krista. Experiencing instant, like being in the present moment now. You know, they say that when we have anxiety is because we're thinking of the future, and when we have depression is we're thinking something in the past. So if we're in the present moment, nothing really is happening in the present moment. When you align the 2 hemispheres of the brain, you're literally in the present moment, taking action as you need to take action, moving forward, becoming the light of the world, lighting the path of light for other people, becoming our brother's keepers, right? Or sisters' keepers, if you will. And that energy is the 5, the whole planetary alignment is coming together to help us understand that each of us has to work with our wounds from the past. We have to balance it, if not with the person that wounded us, but within ourselves. And understand that everybody comes with a gift. I said last week, we don't have no friends, we don't have no enemies, but everybody is our teacher. And so finding what each person is bringing and teaching us so that we could evolve. The number 5 also has an energy. I like to find words that give me the 55, because ultimately that's where we want to be, at the 55, which is a master number. The will to evolve equals 55. And so if we get stuck, we're not going to evolve. We have to work on whatever past, wounds that we haven't healed, in order to move forward. Once we move forward, we will be evolving, helping other people, and coming together united as one human race, one human family. Because ultimately, that's what we are. There's so many divisions. Everything divides us, but we need to find common ground rather than what separates us. Because we're all just having, this physical experience, and we're all on this journey. Even though we have different soul missions, we all are here together, and we have to help each other out. That brings me to the other point of the 55. The 55, once you align the hemispheres together, working together, in harmony, you get to find your soul's purpose, your soul's mission. Each of us came with a mission. Once you start working on that, you're going to find the mission, and you're going to make a contribution to the planet. Mm-hmm. So all of these energies, although there is a lot of upheaval, if you will, but it's for a purpose. It's for a reason. Sometimes we have to go through the dark in order to find the light. And so that's really what's happening right now. All this darkness that each of us is experiencing, or collectively we're experiencing with everything that's happening in the world, is really, there is a light at the end of the the end of the tunnel. There is a silver lining. But we do have to have the will to evolve, in order for each of us to get there.
Nice. I love that you said silver lining, because I used to have this motto that every cloud has a silver lining, and I'm going to find it if I have to reach down that cloud's throat and pull it inside out. And I said that to one of my counselors one time, and she's like, that's really violent. And I was like, you know what? Jesus turned over tables.
Yeah.
Righteous anger is righteous.
Yes.
So sometimes that's the energy that you've got to do in order to make that break.
And here's the other thing. Why is it that going down to turn a cloud inside out is violent?
Well, the way I said it, it really was.
I'm
like,
it's the way she delivered the message.
It's all in the delivery.
It really
is. Yes. But Gayle is the dragon slayer. So
yes,
that's it.
Yeah, I gotta give it to you, Gayle. I really, really believe that.
Thank you. Yep. Well, I've been slaying some dragons, and everything that I've been experiencing this last week is everything that's right on point with what you've just been saying. The revisiting of past wounds and dealing with it a different way, and evolving and having that change the intellectual outlook on life. Right. And I'm not going to get into details, but it's spot on, doll. It is spot on.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's beautiful that you're seeing it from the higher perspective, because if you get stuck in whatever it is, then you're losing the battle. It's about seeing the bigger picture, seeing that you do have to go through this time because it was unbalanced or unfinished. And you have to balance it in order to move forward, and then find your true and higher purpose that's going to bless the world. And so that's what this is really about. But we have to be aware enough to understand what's happening. In other words, the darkness is going to bring it to the light.
Yeah. And if there's anything that me as a primary Libra wants to avoid, it's all kinds of like messiness and, like conflict. Oh my gosh. I will do anything to keep from conflict.
Yeah, because Libra wants balance and harmony in all relationships.
We want everybody to work together.
But
remember, you do have that Scorpio streak.
Exactly. Sometimes you got to pull the Scorpio out of your back pocket and go sting.
Yeah.
I'm like, sometimes that Scorpio, has a tendency to just take over.
Yeah. Which, that works. Awesome stuff. Thank you so much, Damaris.
Oh, you're so welcome.
All righty, Krista, my dear, let's see what you got, because I had never heard of this crystal before. I can't wait to hear all about it.
Have I. So it is Tugtupite, I believe.
Say it?
Tugtupite.
That's kind of how I got it too.
That's how I got it. So it is a more recent mineral that has been discovered. It was discovered in Greenland in 1957-ish.
Can I show the video pictures?
Yes, please go right ahead, because I do not have one of these.
It's pretty.
It is really gorgeous, and it
Yeah.
fits. Wait until you hear about this stone. I'm going to give you a little of the background sciencey aspect of it first before I go into the energy aspect, only because it is a stone I have never heard of. I have not seen it in person as of yet. That's one of the reasons why I want to go to some of the metaphysical stores to see if I can find it. However, one of the things I will say right off the bat is that it is not easily found, this particular mineral, meaning the price of it is going to be a little bit more precious and dear. So, but there's something really super cool about this. It's related to, it's a beryl. It's like a
beryllium base.
Maybe beryllium. Yeah, beryllium is how you would say that. Because I'm like, beryl aluminum,
right?
Yes, that's it. But they also consider it a satellite. So it's a really interesting stone. It comes in white, pink, and then the blood red. So you can find it in this beautiful color combination.
Do that picture video.
Do that picture video again.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I like the blood red kind of color. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it is, as a matter of fact, I saw a picture of the one that they have, or the specimens they have at the Smithsonian, and they have this blood red one that's been polished. And I couldn't borrow the picture. Maybe you can go look. It's Smithsonian, but it's a beautiful, deep blood red. So the really cool thing about this is that it is a stone that, if it's a natural one, if you put a black light on it, it glows.
Ooh, I love stones
like
that.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
I love that. That is one of the ways that you can determine that it's an actual real Tugtupite. So
I never heard of that stone either.
I'm pausing as I say it because I have to look up here. I'm like, now how do I say that one again? But all right, so now let's go into some of the meaning and how, if you are blessed to find it. There are gorgeous pieces of jewelry on Etsy, by the way. Giving a plug for those on Etsy with this jewelry. So if you're somebody who says, this is speaking to me, I need to find it today, Etsy is the place to go. Nice. But here's what it's for. It connects all your chakras to the heart chakra. Ooh. It is about uniting love on a galactic, seriously, universal level. So we talk about rose quartz being a love, a love stone, right? And we talk about morganite being another one that really helps you connect with the self-love aspect and the compassion aspect. Well, Tugtupite, it hits this really, it's like universal level of love, and everything aligns. And even as I was tapping into its energy, you could see how that the infinity, I always think of an infinity symbol running through my heart. So the point of it goes right here at my heart center, and then the rest of the energy, makes that infinity energy around. Wow. And it can be little, and it can grow, and it can spin. That's how it works. And when I was thinking of this particular stone, everything was running through the heart center, the heart chakra. And the really cool thing is, as it's running through and as it's reminding us, as it's connecting to this, it's also connecting to heal those past, to calm that future. That mental monkey jibber jabber that we all get, where it's like we're replaying, Monday morning quarterbacking, replaying everything that happened. And then here we're trying to do is fast forward and come up with the perfect script of the future rather than, being in the present.
Mhm.
So this particular stone takes all that and kind of like makes it center, lines everything up for you. And then it really, I don't want to say forces, because that's that's a harsher word.
Yeah.
We'll use Gayle's therapist's description there. It's not that it's a hard, but it really,
it's an assertive energy, isn't it?
Yeah, it really does. It makes you,
Or masculine, right? Masculine energy.
Yes, but not masculine like it's going to come and sock you and punch you right in the face, right in the kisser.
No, but masculine is the action taker as opposed to the receiving.
That's right. And it's going to make you just come in and say, wow, we need to focus. We need to focus on the universal love aspect. We need to focus on the greatest good, our greatest good, humanity's greatest good, Mother Earth's greatest good, Mars's greatest good, even, and Mercury's greatest good, even though, when it's in retrograde, we all just want to like throw things at it.
Yeah, it's all about reflection too, that retrograde,
Well, and it is. It's so true. Retrograde is about reflecting. It's about
slowing down,
completing, finishing, signing off. Yes, totally.
What you're describing too is what I was like just saying about the Venus, about
you can't make this shit up.
Every week it all comes together.
Crazy. When I'm looking up, I was reading this and doing research on this, and as your words are coming out of your mouth, I'm going, oh my gosh, yet again, it just comes together. It's like a symphony.
Yeah,
amazing.
It is. It's so. What my message to you guys and how you can use it. Should you have a piece of this, or should you want to tap into the energy? Gayle, let's post those pictures up on just by themselves on our
in the group. We'll do.
Yeah, in our group. And just guys, download the picture. You know how to copy it, you know how to do that, right? Download it onto whatever your device is and sit and look at it and meditate. Yeah. And what I mean by meditating, I'm not talking about just, thinking that your brain has to be completely empty. No, what I want you to do is think about, make it a mantra of I am love as you are breathing in, and as you exhale, I receive love. And as you exhale, I am love, right? So you're receiving love as you breathe in. As you exhale, you are the love. And you're seeing that love go out. And really tap into the energy. Feel what it is that is connecting with you. If you have Tugtupite. Oh, don't say that fast.
Twister.
It is, because it's a word that I'm not familiar with. Yeah. So if you have a piece that's from Greenland or from Russia, because you can get it Greenland, Russia, and Canada, is where it is naturally found, and it's found, by the way, near thermal quarries. So so the energy is anything that's near a thermal anything, or has that heat energy. You already know it's a powerful energy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you have a piece and you can sit with it, also, there we go.
I think that was Allison. Yeah, awesome.
Allison, make sure you show us.
And when you order it, tell them that you heard about their product on Three Crones in the Woo Woo, please.
Podcast.
Yes.
Thank you. I love that. But yeah, so if you have that I sit with it. Write out what you're feeling, draw it out. Some people do better when they're meditating and by drawing, and some people do better by writing. Don't think about what's coming out at the bottom, at the base of the pen. Just keep writing. At the end of it, then go back and reflect upon what it is that you wrote.
Yeah.
Because when you actually engage the brain, when you're meditative writing, you have a tendency to miss the important information that's coming through.
That Mercury again, right?
Yeah.
Yes, the planet of the intellect.
Well, and we do sometimes get caught up in that, and that can be very egocentric based. And so I was having that conversation with our son Greg yesterday about, okay, is this coming from the ego? Is this coming from the heart? Where do you think? And he's like, Mom, it can't be the ego.
When I look at when I speak about the Mercury being the planet of the intellect, I'm coming from a place of, if we don't have that Mercury energy working, balanced, we're not going to comprehend anything. So it's all about comprehension. So it's about an inner standing, not an understanding, because then we're under it. We want to be in it. So it's about inner standing, what we're processing, the process of our own life, where we need to go. So I don't see it from any, from a, negative perspective. It's just about being able to process, being able to understand, and being able to become aware. Without Mercury, we don't evolve. We just don't, because we don't get it. We don't get it. Yeah. And so it's not from an egoic perspective.
Yeah. We have to raise. It's about stretching that energy, rising above it. Our friend Phil is letting us borrow his vehicle. And it's actually very new. He just got it. And when it has cameras all around it. And so on the screen, I don't know if some of you may have seen this. It's a very schwanky vehicle. And so it has this screen, and it comes and it pops up. And as you're reversing, it has the backup camera, but the side panel gives you this view from above. How it does it, I do not know. So you see all 360 degrees around you.
Wow. And technology is amazing.
It is amazing. And I was
little drones pop out from the wheel wells. No.
But I was driving. We drove Gregory back to the barracks last night, and I was the one driving. And I'm looking at this as it popped up. I was in a place where I could look and not be distracted by driving, not be distracted. I was driving and not distracted. That's what it is. But I thought of that, and I'm like, that would be a really good thing for us to have that opportunity every now and again to do with our own life, right? Yeah. To have this almost, if you will, an outer body experience where you actually get to look down and do a 360 of what's going on.
That would be so amazing, right?
Yeah, it would be. So here's a real good clue. Meditation helps with that.
Yeah. Definitely.
You don't have any drones popping out of you to give you that view. But
well, there could be an argument made for meditation, astral travel. You are your own drone.
Remote viewing.
Remote viewing. Mm-hmm. There we go. See,
intuition, listening to the messages that come through from your guides. We have all kinds of ways to get a fuller view of life than just our physical senses, for sure.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. We have far more than 5 senses, people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's some that are a little bereft of certain sense. Just leave it there.
That would be having an inflicted Mercury when they were born. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. If the Mercury energy was it had a lot of sort of like conjunctions or oppositions, that would be where people just don't get it. It takes them a long time to kind of get it. And so we see a lot of people like that in the world. I see them all the time, and it's really quite scary. I'm like, oh gosh, You know? Yeah, they haven't inflicted Mercury in their natal.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's interesting. I did not know that.
I had
I've
no
never heard of
clue.
it before. That's good
No,
information.
that really is.
Definitely.
Yeah, I didn't know
Glad to
that.
share it.
Awesome stuff.
Thank you. All right, Miss Gayle Z, it's your turn. What's the card?
Alrighty. The card of today. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Oh my gosh. All right. So today is the
Wow.
5 of Wands. And when I'm doing tarot readings for other people, I always show them the card and say, okay, you tell me, is this a fight or a dance? Because depending on your attitude about the situation, it could go either way.
That's
But
right.
in looking at the card of the day explanation that comes through Galaxy Tarot, which is the app that we use to pull this card each week. This card is just about competition, brainstorming, problems to solve, and conflict, right? Yeah, exactly. So today's message, today's message is: chances are you're feeling feisty today.
Oh.
You may get involved in a heated debate or have a craving for some fun competition. So the warning is to not get too attached to winning. Keep it light, have fun, and new ideas and strengthened friendships are possible. All right.
Excellent.
So,
I love it.
Yeah,
I like that.
We may start out with a conflict, a bit of a fight or whatever, but do what you can to infuse that conflict and make it more of a fun, lighthearted competition, a dance, if you will.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. And dancing is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so many benefits.
Big time. Dance break. All right, cool. All righty. So today, again, nothing is ever an accident around here. Being unconditional love in full self-expression. All right, so I got to back this up a couple of days because this week on Sunday morning, even before I opened my eyes, I kept hearing, I got to go to Mariners Church today. I got to go to Mariners Church. So for those of you who don't know, Mariners Church is the church that was talked about in Gordon Lightfoot's song, the Sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald. The musty old chapel where they go to pray is Mariners Church. Okay. Mariners Church was built from a grant from a lady's will back in the 1800s. Back in the days when you were a member of a church, you actually paid for your pew, right? And many of these hoity-toity gross pointies did not want the sailors attending their church because they'd been out on a boat for 2-3 months and they stunk, right? So this lady willed the funds to create this church. At the time, it was an Episcopalian church, and the Episcopalian mandate is all are welcome. And the entire point of it was to give the sailors a place to come so that they could attend service and receive communion, regardless of being a member of the church or not. And the stained glass windows in this church are just amazing and vibrant. And they're all telling the stories that are all water related, right? The church is based on 3 tenets that Jesus came to collect fishers of men. He turned water into wine. And the third one is escaping me right now. I'm sorry. But you can go to the website and you can find out all of this story that I'm giving you. So for some reason, I've been wanting to go to this church since I tried to go to it back in February a year ago. And because of COVID, they weren't doing the tours. They weren't letting people in. So I'm like, I'm going to go to a service. And so Sunday morning, before I even opened up my eyes, I was compelled to go to the service. Okay. So I drive downtown. We had gotten snow for the first time and everything was slick. And it took me 40 minutes to get there. Totally worth it. And this particular church works out of the Common Book of Prayer, which the Episcopalian churches since then that are part of the diocese have modernized into a more modern type of thing. This one, because it's outside of the diocese, still maintains the service from the Common Book of Prayer from the 1600s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was beautiful. And their logo, if you will, is the 3 crosses on the mount, but the middle cross is an anchor. It is, I just absolutely loved it. So the message of the day was taken from St. Paul's letters. And it was essentially, when people are hostile to you, love them anyway, love them back. You know, don't get hostile in return. And it was interesting, I noted, because they never mentioned Jesus saying, turn the other cheek once. It's not about ignoring them. It's about loving them even more, which feeds right into what we're talking about today. Being that unconditional love in full self-expression. Not, oh, you deserve my unconditional love and you don't, right? You've been a jerk to me, so I am justified in either turning my back on you or being mean in return. And that it was just, I didn't get the full impact of that lesson while I was there in the service. But being that their only requirement for taking communion was that you be a baptized Christian, no matter what denomination that you were baptized in, I was able to take part in communion. And then after that, I had this life experience happen that ties right into what Damaris was talking about, you know, a wound from years and years ago that I turned the other cheek on, right? That I just ignored. And dealing with it in an evolved way, you know, that 5 number of this week, right? And staying centered in this present moment. This is not about the past. This is not about the future, like the Tugtupite is talking about.
That's right.
Right. And, you know, it's not a pretty picture. I will be utterly honest with you. I don't want to walk through this fucking sludge. I don't. I would much rather.
Energy.
Yeah. But in doing so, in doing the next right thing, in doing the unconditionally loving thing to all concerned, including myself, in full self-expression, and letting go of that thing that we as humans tend to do. I'm going to tell you the version of the story that makes me look good so that you're on my side and sets up this competition and stuff. I'm not even
like the card.
Yeah, like the card, right? That conflict and so on. Not doing that, just walking through, doing the next task that needs to be done, not character assassinating, not allowing myself to be internally assassinated character-wise or self-respect-wise, and continuing moving forward. And I will tell you something. At any other time, I don't think that it would have felt as neutral as it does now. I fully believe that, having listened to my intuition, my guides, taking action on that, going to the church, taking communion, peace is upon me in this process. Right? So that's what I encourage all of you to step into this week, is finding that center. If necessary, using the photos that we're going to upload in the group, meditating with the Tugtupite, allowing all of your...
She did. I'm jealous. Tugtupite. Oh, see, I did it.
You did it. You got to step outside of reading it.
I know. It's like reading it keeps you stumble over.
Yeah. Well, where do we ever see the GT combination, right? It's a hard G followed by a T. It's very weird to us. Anyway, but meditating with the Tugtupite and allowing all of our chakras to center in to the heart chakra, you know, embracing that number 5, that sense to evolve into, you know, and embracing the shadow of and I don't mean the shadow phase of the Mercury
Yes,
retrograde, but that shadow part of ourself that is, generated during the Mercury retrograde, to go back and explore past wounds, to deal with them in a more evolved way, to set us free of whatever tentacles that past wound still has of us.
You just put it so beautifully.
Well, thank you.
You did.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So essentially, that's
it's a
what?
bow.
Huh?
The bow.
She put the bow on it.
You ladies are so sweet to me. Thank
It's
you very
true.
much. Thank you. All right, so that's my mission to all of you this week, is to bring all of this together. The planets where they stand, using them for the energy that they give you, not judging whether you like that energy or not, using the number of the week, number 5, in its simplified state, which is all about change, or the master number state, which is all about changing to evolve, not just changing, but changing to evolve.
To become a light to the world.
Exactly. Exactly. And being that unconditional love, wherever you go, with whoever you interact with, and staying centered with that Tugtupite, so that all of your being is infinite love from the heart chakra.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
Beautiful. Awesome.
Infinite.
Awesome stuff.
Beautiful.
All right, so we have a winner to crown today.
Oh,
Thank you, everyone who shared out last week's episode. We really, really appreciate that. Can't thank you enough, because that's what helps us grow.
Yes.
We have grown in the last couple of weeks. We've gained a few more members as well.
Yay.
So yay, thank you for all that you're doing. And congratulations to this week's winner, Elizabeth Flores.
Oh, nice.
Yay! Congrats, Elizabeth.
Yay. That's a new winner.
Is it? Is it? Okay.
Yeah, Elizabeth. Diana is the one. Diane Flores has won before, but not Elizabeth.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, congratulations. Congratulations. All right. I can say Tugtupite, but I can't say congratulations. What's up with that? Thank you, Mercury. So, for just in case you don't know, Elizabeth, the process is you've already liked and commented and shared out this, so you win this week. What there is for you to do next is to reach out to either Krista or Damaris or myself, whichever one of us that you choose to deliver your prize. All right. Yep. So if you reach out to Krista does crystal readings. Yes, so if you would like a crystal reading, then Krista is the one that you need to reach out to. Damaris does numerology readings and tarot readings, right?
Yeah.
And so if you would like a numerology or a tarot reading from Damaris, then reach out to Damaris. And I do tarot readings and emotional freedom technique tapping sessions. So if you would like either a tarot reading, intuitive tarot from me, or an EFT session to help you let go of past trauma that has been coloring the way that you see life today and what comes into your life based on what you're allowing yourself to see, you would reach out to me. And thank you so very much for sharing our broadcast last week. That is how we grow. And it's so nice to meet you. New winner.
Yes, definitely.
Awesome.
I love how everything just comes together all the time. And it's not like we're trying. It just comes together. It's amazing. Like, I'm always like amazed by it.
Me too. Yeah. And it's like, my intellectual part of my brain goes, okay, well, Krista gives me the list of crystals and I look them up, and so there is a certain amount that it's like, okay, I'm pulling from all of the many things that this crystal can do. Yeah. But that doesn't come close to touching on where the planets are or the number of the week. So I have to infer that whatever it is that I pull out of all of the things that crystal can do, for it to fit perfectly with the crystal of the week, where the planets are. And just the fact that crystal was chosen for the week from Krista. Yeah, there is.
We don't talk prior to the show.
Not at all.
And
No, and I didn't pull the cards for the crystals. My daughter did from 3 decks. And yeah, she pulled all of them for the year.
Also, I have to say that with everything going on planetarily, I just look to see, okay, what can I talk about today? Because there's so much, you can't talk about everything. So I have to pick and choose what I'm going to say. And being that it was just such gridlock in Capricorn, I was like, I got to talk about this. So that's why I chose that. But I didn't know it was going to come together so beautifully with the crystal and with your magic words. It just is amazing to me.
Well, that right there is evidence of the woo-woo is its own entity in this show.
It really is. Because even with the crystal, there's so much information. Guys, pick a crystal and go and do your own research on it. Mm-hmm. And then sit with what all that information tells you and what comes up. Because that's exactly what I do. I'm just like, oh, okay, and I have this and I have that option and I have these things we can talk about. Yeah, we don't.
It's amazing.
I don't even always Gayle writes the topics.
Yeah, I don't really either.
I just don't. I don't focus on that because I don't want to mess up the magic that this all creates.
Yes, and that's exactly what it is. It's magic.
Yeah, I want to keep it as organic for what it is that I'm saying, where I'm coming from. It helps tremendously. Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you.
I do believe this is Allison again. Yes. We really are somehow always on the same page. And it's miraculous because God knows not all of us are always on the same page with the people physically in our lives. So
absolutely.
Absolutely. This whole thing is
the most amazing thing is, again, we don't talk to each other before the show. Just like 5 minutes before we get on, we say hello to each other. We're not really talking about, we're going to talk about this. What are you going to talk about? It just comes together.
Yeah. And it's beautiful that it happens that way because we're not operating from a mental intellectual agenda. And I think that's where the magic gets access because we're just trusting that everything is going to show up exactly as it's supposed to be. And it always does.
Yeah, definitely. Whether or not we want to hear it.
True.
Okay. So that's the other aspect of everybody who's out there watching. There are times, I don't know, I can't speak for Gayle and Damaris, that one of them might be talking or the words are falling out of my mouth. And I'm going, I really don't want to hear this right now.
And that's almost always exactly what you need to hear, especially when it's coming out of your own mouth, right?
Oh, I really don't like that. Or when it's come out of my mouth and then it's coming out of someone else's mouth, and those are the words I use. It's like, don't use my own words against me.
Oh, especially when it's your own family, your own children.
Right? Worse,
oh my
God,
husband. Yeah. Oh. So now you listen.
Oh, now you're gonna do it. Oh yeah.
I just want to add one more thing. It just came to my mind. So like the number 55, a master number is not supposed to be really reduced to a single digit. But when you do reduce it, because sometimes we're not vibrating at that master level, it's a 1. So the 1 is all about, again, leadership. Are we going to abuse our leadership? Are we going to use abuse our powers once we start vibrating high? No, we can't. We have to help other people then do the same, because as each of us shifts, evolves, the world becomes just a beautiful, beautiful, place to live in. And, hopefully eventually in this lifetime, we'll be able to experience a world of peace.
That would be awesome.
Well,
I'm really glad that you, right? I'm really glad that you brought that up, because that was flying around in my brain as you were talking about the 55 master number and that it reduces down to a 1, being, leadership, new beginnings. In tarot, the aces, they're always opportunities that must be grasped in order to develop. So
the masculine energy there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. We're going to actually close a little bit early, which probably makes up for how many times I've gone long in the last month.
I know, right?
Yes. So I want to say thank you, of course, to our contributors and our sponsors. As always, we have Krista Ducharme with Dimensional Healing with Krista. You can find her on Facebook. Damaris Samolinski with Ask the Genie with Damaris Samolinski. And yours truly, Gayle Nicholson with Creative Command Coaching and Consulting. From all of us here at Three Crones in the Woo Woo, thank you so much for spending the time with us today. And we are going to sign off at 55:17.
Wow.
Have a great one,
Beautiful.
everybody. Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye.